Hi folks, welcome to Heart of the Home in Homer, Alaska. This is kind of my new home away from home, and I have a great guest. Scott Elnes is the weatherman for the NBC station, KTUU, out of Anchorage. Now, I called you and I said I wanted what for my weather?
You wanted 60 and sunny.
That's right, and you said?
Upper 50s and cloudy.
That's right, and I landed, it was 60 and sunny. I must be in charge here.
Yep.
Well, it was 60 and sunny for 15 minutes, and then it rained, guys.
And what was it?
Upper
50s and cloudy.
It was upper 50s and raining. So now, as we drove down, though, we were in rain about an hour, and then we got near the Kenai, and it cleared, and it was beautiful. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, today, I'm back in Alaska because it's becoming a family tradition. I love coming here. And you gave me a recipe that's family tradition. How many generations?
It goes back, what, 4 or 5? Back to the 1800s.
Right, yeah, before I was born, I might add.
Me too, for the record.
Yeah. Now, you're originally from where?
I'm originally from Seattle.
And you came here because?
I came here to talk about the weather. They actually paid me to do it. It's kind of fun.
That's great. Now, talk about 60 and sunny tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's right. Now, I understand you're going to do a special while you're down here, do a little bit of work, and we really need some good weather tomorrow because we have some outdoor footage we want to shoot.
And I've got to do some outdoor footage tomorrow,
That's
so
right.
I'm hoping as well.
Well, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Lord, please send us good weather. So we hope He does. We talked about tradition, and family tradition to us is traveling to Alaska as often as we can, and family tradition to you is a great recipe that you remembered as a child.
Oh yeah.
Your mom made it still?
My mom made it, my grandma made it, my grandma before that made it. And it came over literally on the boat, basically.
Right, not on the Mayflower.
No.
Okay. Now, when was this a Christmas family?
It was always Christmas. We have Scotch-Irish on my mom's side and Scandinavian on the other, so we would kind of blend the cultures together. But it was primarily Scandinavian in my dad's family, so we always did the Scandinavian Christmas.
I can tell you right now, guys, if we had smell-o-vision, it's got onion, has onion in it, and you told me one of the ingredients is allspice.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, honey, you don't know this about me, but I don't measure anything. And when you sent me great-grandma's recipe, I brought my measuring spoons from Georgia because this does have exact amounts of spices. So when you said the allspice kind of adds that kick to it.
Well, the irony of it is that it was only in my mother's generation when it actually became a recipe. It was always a, eggshell full of this or whatever, so it only got formalized not so long ago.
Oh, wow. And see, that's kind of how I cook because my grandmother did a pinch of this. And a little bit of this and that, and I tell people a recipe is only a beginning. So if you like a little more onion, add a little bit more onion. So, and you've seen our website.
Yeah.
I love simple things. And I think that's why I love Alaska. Alaska's a very simple place with great ideas.
Yeah.
Just awesome ideas.
Absolutely.
So now, are you going to retire in Alaska, or are you going to stay here? What do you think?
Well, I love it here. The winters do get long, as a lot of people know. The snow stays on the ground for a little while, but the one thing is that's great about this area compared to even anywhere. I'm from Washington originally. Is when the weather gets good, everyone goes out. This is the most outdoor place you'll ever see in your life. So, it's one of those places that even if I move away, I'll always come back.
You'll come back. Oh, yeah. And you know what? That's the thing about Homer, Alaska. It draws you back. It draws you back. And my children, the Kenai River is like my favorite place in the whole world. And my kids are like, why are you so hung up about this river? And I said, you don't understand it. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So, and it does draw you back. It draws you back. So, now Scott, we're going to talk about this recipe as we put it together, and you're going to tell me what to do. You're going to be the boss now.
Oh, right. So I get a raise then, apparently.
Oh, no. No, honey, we're going to get decent meatballs, and we'll call that pay. So, now you told me to do what with these crackers?
We got to crunch those up. We should probably start our broth first.
Okay.
So I'll
put your broth in. Maybe you'll come to Georgia one day.
Hey, that would be good.
That'd be a good idea.
Southern food.
Well, honey, let me tell you what you'll get in Georgia. 93, humid, and hot.
And so I'll be passed out on the floor the whole time.
Yes, that's right. Okay. That's right. Okay, now we're going to put the liquid in.
Yeah. So the 2 cans of broth.
And this is beef broth. Okay. And I bet we're going to need a spoon to get the soup out. You've got a fork. That'll do. Okay.
The great thing about it is then you have to put in some water and everything. You just put the water in the can and you're all set up. So everything's pretty simple, as you were saying.
Now, speaking of water, we are in Homer, Alaska, and the water we're staring at is what Cook's Inlet? Is that
Cook Inlet,
Uh-huh.
Just leading out to, well, just shy of the Gulf of Alaska, that kind of area.
And from here, how close are we to Russia?
Well, from here, it's probably a good 1,500 miles or so, yeah.
Which isn't that far.
But other parts of Alaska get within, 100 miles of it.
Wow,
some of the islands
isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
The first year we came here, we went to the Russian village and just rode around. And I was fascinated by the fact that there was hay growing in Alaska. So I took pictures of that and took it back to our farm because we live in a farm that was built in 1860.
Oh, okay.
So we're a big-time farming community.
Lots of Russian Orthodox came here years ago, so there's a huge Russian population in this state.
Right.
So it's very. Also, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, it's the only place in the United States that was ever occupied by a foreign occupier.
Wow.
The Japanese. So
wow.
I never knew that. Too.
Well, it is truly one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It is.
It really is. And you are so blessed to get to work here. So
it's nice. Even when the winters, a lot of people say it gets cold in Anchorage and Kenai and everything. There's enough maritime influence that it's really not
so bad. Yeah.
It doesn't get that cold, and the snow is really beautiful.
Well, last year my son Nicholas wanted to come here for Christmas, and my argument was, I'm not going where it's that cold. I love it in the spring and summer. He got on the computer, and it was the same degree here Christmas Day as it was at my house, so my argument was out the window. And Nicholas said, okay, Mama, now are we leaving for Alaska? We didn't get to, but maybe we'll get to spend a Christmas here. Now, guys, Scott and I are going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to let the broth get hot, and then we're going to assemble the meatballs, and you're going to teach me something.
Yep.
And I'm going to teach you something about Southern cooking. Southern cooking is something you share with friends and you share with family, and I'm so glad that we made you part of our new family.
Me too.
So, welcome to Georgia, and thanks for bringing me to Alaska. We'll be right back. Hi folks, welcome back to Heart of the Home in Homer, Alaska. Scott, honey, I gave you 60 seconds and the weather's still raining.
I'm working on it.
You told me it changed often.
With the powers that I have, it takes a little bit longer.
Okay. Now your powers have convinced me I'm going to measure today.
Yeah.
So while you do the eggs and the milk, you whip that up, I'm going to measure the spices that go in great-great-grandma's recipe.
Yeah.
So I've got to do a 3/4 spoon of allspice, and that is a great smelling ingredient. Oh, it is awesome.
You don't put a lot in there, but boy, it just gives a subtle flavor.
And now tell us the trick. You use it in your coffee.
Yeah, I put it in the coffee grounds as it percolates, and it's kind of a Jamaican black sugar, I guess what they call it.
Wow.
And it just gives it a certain smoothness. It's very good.
Well, it really, when I opened it, I thought, I haven't used this in a long time, and it smells really good. So thanks for giving me a new idea. And one of the ideas you're going to give me is that you should come to Alaska at least 4 times a year, because now you told me the winters aren't that bad.
No, not at all. Especially in Homer and around the coastal communities, it's really quite enjoyable. When you get into the interior of Alaska, it starts getting 40 below. And
well, I met a man coming up on the plane, and really sweet guy from North Dakota, and he said he works in weather that's 71 degrees below zero.
Yeah.
And I thought, you're either a really good man or a fool. I don't know which.
Well, you got to be getting paid a lot of money.
Well, yeah, he's a farmer, has a farm up in North Dakota, really nice guy. And he told me about his job, and I thought, you have got to be kidding me. 71 degrees, you know. And in Georgia, when it gets 20, we're whining and crying. And now, do I put this in here, and then you're going to mix it all
Everything
up?
Everything just goes all straight in there.
Okay.
The great part about it is just a bowl, and you just pour everything in there, and
okay.
You get to
now
get
I'm going to let you work on these, because this is your specialty. Now add your onions. Got
the onions, the small onion minced up.
And then you are going to have me rolling in flour.
I get to do the really messy stuff, and then this is we did this when we were kids. It was me and my brother.
And you thought it was fun?
And we thought it was fun, but then when you get to that age when you're brothers, and pretty soon the meatball stuff is being thrown at each other and all that. So
I bet your mom loved that.
Oh yeah, she loved every minute of it.
How many siblings do you have?
Just one older brother.
And he's a preacher?
He is, yeah, in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Wow. How does he like that heat out there? Speaking of Georgia heat.
They're not big fans of it, but it's sort of like winters in Alaska. There's just a season where you stay indoors,
right,
you know?
Right.
So.
You know, I'm in the trucking business, and our trucks go to Arizona, and quite often it's 117 degrees when they're unloading trucks. So it's funny how the drastic areas, and people still choose to live there.
I have friends at the Weather Channel there in Atlanta, and they keep talking about me coming over, and I think, well, I'll come over maybe in the winter or the spring.
I love Atlanta, and I love Georgia, and honestly, North Georgia compares to this. We have beautiful mountains. We don't have snow, but we do have some humidity and some heat.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. But you can play golf for about 6 to 8 months a year. So.
Oh, yeah. And we live near a community that has great golf courses. We have several really good ones. So.
Well, I'll be there next week then.
Okay,
How about that?
Okay. And I'll order up 84 and no humidity. Okay.
All right.
All right.
See.
I'll say
Will
you have
do
to
as good
change
of a job
it.
as I have so far?
Oh, yeah, Scott. Honey, you're going to be in 100-degree weather if I do what you've done.
100% humidity, too.
Okay, you're going to wash your hands now.
Yep.
Okay.
And we got our broth is boiling there.
Our broth is boiling.
That's good news.
Now, are these large meatballs, small?
They're going to be large.
Okay.
Just like Scandinavians.
Okay. Is that where you get your killer good-looking eyes?
I guess that's from my mom.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, now.
Yeah,
now,
we don't like the small
how are you going to
one.
do this?
I'll just reach right in
You're
and
going to
roll
hand
them
them
on
to me,
it.
and I'm going to roll them in
I'll
flour?
throw them in the flour, and that way you don't have to make any.
Then we're going to put them on the side. Just is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can just put them straight in the broth,
okay.
actually.
Okay. I've never done this, so this is a whole totally new experience.
You know, you get those little lean cuisine things, and they give you the little meatballs that are about that big. No, it doesn't work here.
So is this pretty much what it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
You can put.
Drop it in the broth?
Yep. And you don't. You know, the thing is, you can have a lot of flour on a meatball. You can have a little. It's better to have more than
okay.
too little. But.
And the flour will help thicken the sauce. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
So then, yeah, what happens is we basically let it boil for at least a half an hour, but a lot of times at Christmas we let it go for up to 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So it gets a really nice deep flavor to it.
So obviously, is this, you'd have to add a little juice to it maybe?
Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes, but a lot of times it gets a nice, you know, kind of a somewhat thick to it. And then a lot of times what we would do, we'd serve it with peas and mashed potatoes, and so then you get the gravy going with that.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
The frightening part was then, are you familiar with lutefisk at all?
No.
It's cod soaked in lye. It's a Swedish-Norwegian thing. It's god-awful, but my dad loves it. And we'd hide it in meatballs and things, and it was one of the non-fun parts of Christmas for us. But
wow. Well, talking about non-fun things, my mom used to make duck. And tradition to my brother and I, we wanted turkey and dressing. Mother would make duck with some terrible sauce that she just loved, and we were like, yuck. You know, give me the basics, give me the simple stuff.
I wonder if it's a job of a parent to have some food that drives the kids nuts.
I think so, yeah. And one of the things Mother did was Brussels sprouts, and I cannot, you know, certain things you just don't like, and that was one of those I didn't like. Now, because we're in Alaska, we actually, my mom cooked rhubarb a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of rhubarb here, isn't there? So I think I'm going to have somebody, as a matter of fact, I think Karen Zach's going to teach me how to make a rhubarb cobbler. What do you think of that?
See, in Washington growing up, there was rhubarb everywhere, and I hated it. But then in my later years, it suddenly had one of those rhubarb and strawberry pies, and woo, man, that was good.
And you learned to appreciate it?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to use the Savannah cinnamon, I think, tomorrow, and we're going to do something with rhubarb, so I think that'll be good. These look good, and I've never done this before.
These are very, very tasty. I've fixed them for folks up here that have never had them, and they're addicted, so.
Wow.
If I ever want to impress a lady, you know, this is what I do. Hasn't worked so far, but, you know, that's what I give it a shot.
Oh, well, now, Atlanta, he's single. Greenville, he's single.
That's right. I can't make the weather change, but.
That's right. No, he didn't do very much for the weather. But, now, this is a great idea. And when Scott and I come back, we're going to let these simmer. What did you say, about 30 minutes
about 30
minimum?
Minutes. Yep.
Okay. And when we come back, we're going to serve up a dessert that I stuck in the oven. I snuck and did that before you got here. But we are serving it with some Alaska ice cream I found.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, in Georgia, we would only use Mayfield ice cream. But this is a brand I found here that has wild mountain berries.
Yeah.
Have you had that?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're about to have it with one of our southern desserts. It's full of pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
So, guys, hang around. Scott and I will be back, and I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is going to be fun. Hang around, guys. We'll be right back. folks, I'm back, and Scott, these smell great.
Oh, don't they? Yes.
That was a good plan. Now, the plan is better because in Georgia, we have this thing, life is short, eat dessert first. So while Granny's meatballs are cooking, we're gonna serve up dessert.
Oh, let's do that.
Now, this is called Blackberry-less Cobbler. There are no blackberries in it. It has pineapple and the Savannah cinnamon blackberry juice, which is really good, and pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from. Cake mix and butter, because when you come to Georgia, we will teach you butter, butter, butter. We don't do anything without butter. Now, this is hot, and we're gonna serve it with an ice cream that I thought was from Alaska, but honey, it's from Oregon.
From Oregon, but it's a good one.
Tillamook.
Tillamook,
right?
yeah.
Okay, and
very
you told
famous
me
in the Northwest.
They make good cheese?
Very good cheese, yeah.
Okay. And this is mountain huckleberry.
Oh, yeah.
So I think this is gonna be good with the Blackberry-less Cobbler. So, and this is a recipe, really, as a bachelor, you can make this recipe.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave you, yes you can, yes you can. Have
Wow,
faith in
okay.
it.
Miracles do happen then.
I'm gonna give you that recipe. And it's the kind of thing you can serve up with this for a nice dessert.
Okay.
So, now, if you go into work at 4 o'clock in the morning? And you work till
noon.
Noon, and then you?
I play golf or go out in the snow, depending on your time of year.
Okay, so you're an outdoorsman, and that's a great thing to be here.
Yeah.
Have you ever picked huckleberries?
No, I have not.
No. Well, I understand that the rhubarb that grows around here grows wild, doesn't it? And it just, is it a native to here, or did somebody plant it?
I'm not sure about Alaska. I know it is in Washington. It's,
okay. Do they have rhubarb ice cream here?
I haven't seen it, no.
No. Well, when I saw this in the grocery store, I was convinced this was Alaska. And I just thought we need to share this with folks. But anyway, Oregon, that's going to be good. Now, the meatballs are going to take about another 20 minutes, right? And that's for another day. But we're going to have this dessert. So if you'll dish it up for me, I will scoop some ice cream into it.
Okay.
We're going to see how this goes. This is softened a little bit. Looks good. Smells rich. Pecans or pecans, depending. Now, we've decided you're a little bit southern because you're from southern Alaska. That's right. That's right, which is much better than being from northern Alaska.
Yeah, that gets a little rough.
Now, I want you to try this.
Oh, man.
There you go. And remember, let me have that one. There you go. Life is short, eat dessert first.
Got this kind of dessert and the meatballs and everything. It's a little bit of nirvana right now.
Now, do you go to the gym?
All the time.
Good. Good for you. So eat that and then have some more.
In preparation for this, I went extra long today. So.
Good. Good. Is it good? Now, and it really is pineapple, which is not bad for you.
No.
Pecans, maybe not too bad for you. And a little bit of cake mix and a little bit butter. So very simple. And it really is something you can make. So easy and simple. And that's kind of what we're all about. We love the simple lifestyle you have offered us by inviting us to Alaska. And thank you so much. It's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun. And now I think, I believe we're going to do rhubarb because the rhubarb just showed up. Karen and Bryan Zach, who have been our host while we've been in Alaska. Come here. Great. Come here. Give me a hug. Now, you're a Southern girl. You're from Virginia.
Yes.
And you found Bryan under a cabbage leaf or what?
I found him in the South in Alabama.
Okay.
He's not from
Alabama. I told you Alaska was like Alabama.
No, he's from California, but I found him in Alabama.
Well, thank you for the rhubarb, and you're going to teach me how to cook with this.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do that. That's
going to be a good idea. Now, I want to give y'all some dessert. So let's put this in the sink, and we will wash that tomorrow. And Scott, fix them up some dessert.
All right.
Now, have y'all had this ice cream before?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes.
Now, see, in Georgia, we have Mayfield. And you know we brought Mayfield milk to Alaska with us. We did.
That's what we got in the meatballs.
The only reason we let the Tillamook ice cream from Oregon show up is because he's related to Nanook.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, you know.
No. Remember, life is short. Eat dessert first. Okay. There you go. Now, this really has been a great week. I was afraid it was going to be sad because I had some sad memories here a few years ago. But it's been a great week. And I so appreciate your hospitality, and it's been great. It's been so much fun. And we're gonna have meatballs for breakfast, maybe? Maybe tomorrow we'll have meatballs for breakfast. When you travel, choose a place that's interesting, and Alaska certainly is that.
That's for sure.
It's beautiful. It certainly is that. Now, would you ever leave here?
No.
Never, never. And it is addictive. It really is. And I said, when I tell people about it, they're like, yeah. But when you come here, you understand it, don't you? Yeah.
It's a well-kept secret.
Yeah, it is. Honey, it's not too well kept in July. 10 million people come to Alaska, so. We got tickled when we landed at the airport. The lady said, 1 million people a year travel through the Alaska airport. And I looked at her and said, honey, 1 million people a day travel through Hartsfield. You know? But it is a wonderful, warm, and welcoming place. And thank you all so much. Now, y'all remember, tune in to us, www.heartofthehomerecipes.com, and we will share part of Alaska with you. We'll share our memories, we'll share the good times, and we welcome you to see us as often as possible. Send me your recipes too, guys, because I loved your mom's or your grandmother's recipe. Karen, get me up some recipes.
Okay.
Same time, same channel. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, welcome to Heart of the Home. My name is Carol Blanton with the Carolina Crossmen. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some more great Southern gospel music.
There is an unseen hand to me that leads through ways I cannot see while going through a world of care. His unseen hand will lead us there. I'm trusting to the unseen hand that guides me through this weary land, and some sweet day I'll reach that strand, still guided by the unseen hand. Oh, I long to see my Savior's face and sing that story, saved by grace. Then while upon that golden strand, I'll praise Him for His guiding hand. I'm trusting to the unseen hand that guides me through this weary land, and some sweet day I'll reach that strand, still guided by the unseen hand. I'm trusting to the unseen hand that guides me through this weary land, and some sweet day I'll reach that strand, still guided by the unseen I'm trusting to the unseen hand that guides me through this weary land, and some sweet day I'll reach that strand, still guided by hand. Oh, I'm trusting to the unseen hand that guides me through this weary land, and some sweet day